The year was 3047. Humanity had long left Earth behind now. People lived across the stars, building cities in space and planets far from the sun. One such place was Nova Echo, a quiet space station floating near the edge of known space life. There was calm until one day everything changed. It started with a sound not loud, not sharp, just a soft beep at first. No one paid attention. The station's radio scanners picked up strange signals all the time, space static, old messages, even jokes from other stations. But this was different. "Commander," said Lieutenant Mara, eyes fixed on her screen, "we're getting something." Weird. Commander Ray walked over, frowning. He was a tall man with gray hair and tired eyes. He had seen many things in space, but nothing like this. "What is it?" he asked. "It's not coming from any known source," she said. "No planet, no ship, nothing nearby. And listen." She pressed a button. A voice filled the room, not a human voice. "Not quite. We are coming." That was all it said. Over and over again. "We are coming, we are coming, we are coming." Silence followed. Then Commander Ray spoke. "Trace the signal. Find out where it's coming from." Mara nodded. She tapped at her console. Lines of data scrolled past her eyes. Minutes passed. Her face grew pale. "I can't find a source," she whispered. "It's like it's just everywhere." Ray frowned deeper. "Send a report to Central Command. Let them know what we found." Before she could reply, the lights flickered. A low hum filled the station. Then the main view screen turned on by itself. Everyone stopped on the screen. Was blackness, endless space stars, silence. Then something appeared. At first it looked like a shadow, but shadows don't grow. This thing did. It was huge, silent, black, and it was right outside the station. Gasps filled the control room. "What the hell is that?" someone shouted. "Unknown vessel detected," the AI voice said calmly. "No ID, no response to hails." Commander Ray stared at the screen. His voice was tight. "Bring up external cameras, full visual." The screen changed. The crew saw it clearly. Now it was a ship or something like one. Its shape was wrong, too smooth, too dark. There were no lights, no engines they could see, no signs of life, just silence. "Run scans." Ray ordered. "Power levels, weapons, anything." Mara worked fast. "No energy readings, no heat signature. It's like it's not even there." "That's not possible," someone muttered. Ray looked around. "Tell me we're not alone out here. No other ships nearby?" Mara replied. It came out of nowhere. They watched the screen for minutes that felt like hours. Then something moved. Not the ship, something. On the ship, two glowing lines opened across its surface slowly. They widened like eyes. Someone screamed. The screen flashed. White alarms blared. "Something's happening," Mara yelled. "I'm losing control of systems." Lights went off. Monitors blinked. The air grew cold. "Report." Ray barked. "I don't know," Mara cried. "It's scanning us. Every system is being overridden. Shut it down manually." "We can't. It's inside our network." Outside, the alien ship hovered closer. Its glowing eyes stayed open. Then the AI voice spoke again, but not in its usual tone. This time it sounded wrong. "You have been seen." Silence. "Then you will be changed." Panic spread through the station. People ran, screamed, tried to shut things off, but nothing worked. Commander Ray stood frozen, staring at the screen. He knew this wasn't just a visit. This was something else, something dangerous. "We need to warn everyone," he said finally. "Send a message to every colony, every ship. Tell them what we've seen." Mara nodded, hands shaking. "What if they don't believe us?" "They'll believe when they see it," he said, "because now it knows we're here outside." The alien ship remained still, watching, waiting, and somewhere deep in space, more eyes began to open. The silence after the message was worse than screams. No one moved. Everyone on Nova Echo stared at the screen, watching the alien ship hover like a shadow over their lives. Then Commander Ray took a deep breath. "Lock down all systems," he said. "Cut every external link now, Lieutenant." Mara's fingers flew across her console. "I'm trying," she said, voice tight. "But it's not working. It's like the ship is inside our computers." "Then shut them down manually," Ray ordered. Mara pressed a button. Lights flickered again. Then most of them went out. The station groaned. A low hum filled the walls. "It's still scanning us," Mara whispered. "It's looking for something." Ray looked around. His crew was scared. He couldn't blame them. He was scared too. "Send another message," he said. Tell Central Command we are under threat. Repeat until they respond. I've sent 5 already. Mara said. No reply outside the station. The alien ship remained still, but its glowing eyes were open now, wide and unblinking then, without warning. The lights on Nova Echo came back on everything, rebooted doors, locked cameras turned life. Support reactivated, but it wasn't the crew who had done this. It fixed itself. Someone asked. No, Mara said. Eyes wide. It did. Commander Ray clenched his jaw. It's testing us. Suddenly, alarms blared again, but different this time, life support dropping. A voice shouted from the lower deck. Oxygen levels falling fast. Ray ran to the comms panel. Report! What's happening down there? Static, then a panicked voice. We don't know. Systems just turned off. People are suffocating. Mara typed fast. I can't override it. Whoever or whatever is doing this has full control. Return to the crew. Suit up. We're sending a team down. Moments later, 3 officers in spacesuits rushed through the halls of Nova Echo. They passed darkened rooms, silent machines, and empty corridors. They reached Deck 5. The airlock door wouldn't open. Manual override. One of them said. Pulling a lever, the door hissed open inside. People lay on the floor. Some gasped for air. Others didn't move. Get them into suits. One officer shouted. They worked fast, helping survivors while dragging bodies away. Then one of the officers looked up. He pointed outside the window. The alien ship floated closer, and something new was happening. A long, thin line appeared along its side. It opened slowly like a mouth. Is that moving? Another officer whispered. They watched as the opening widened. A beam of light shot out. It hit the station, not with fire, not with force, just light, and then silence back on the command deck. Mara screamed. Her console lit up with strange symbols. She tried to touch them, but the screen flashed red. Something's wrong, she cried. It's downloading something or uploading. Uploading what? Ray demanded. I don't know. She yelled, but it's taken data from us. Ray grabbed the comms. All teams return to command deck immediately. As the officers rushed back, they saw something else. One of the survivors they had rescued stood still. His helmet was cracked. His eyes were open, but he wasn't breathing, and yet he was standing. Hey, one officer said, tapping him on the shoulder. The man turned slowly, too slow. His voice came out flat, empty. You have been seen. The officer stepped back. What the hell? Then the man's eyes changed. They glowed faintly. Blue before anyone could react. He lunged. Chaos broke out. Alarms screamed louder. People ran. Restrain him! Ray shouted. 2 officers tackled the man. But he didn't fight back. He just stood there. Then his voice came again. You will be changed. Silence followed. Then he collapsed dead. Mara stared at the body. Her hands shook. This isn't just a ship, she whispered. It's a message. Ray looked at her. A warning, she said. Or maybe a test. He turned to the screen. The alien ship was still there, still watching, still waiting, and now it had taken something from them. Data, lives, control. Prepare another message, Ray said. This time, tell every human colony. Run. Mara hesitated. What if they ask why? Ray looked at the screen. Because something is coming, he said, and it's already here, outside. The alien ship hovered silently. Its eyes remained open, waiting, watching. The crew stood frozen as the dead man lay on the floor. His eyes were still open, glowing faintly blue. Even though he was clearly gone, no one spoke. The silence felt heavy, like a storm had passed through and left only fear behind. Commander Ray broke the quiet. First, lock down Deck 5, he said, voice low but sharp. No one goes near that area until we know what happened. Mara nodded fast. Her hands trembled as she typed new orders into her console. Lights flickered again, then turned red. This is not normal, she whispered. That thing. It didn't just attack us, it touched us. Ray looked at the screen. The alien ship was still there, floating like a shadow in space. We need answers, he said, and the only place to get them is out there. He pointed at the ship. A few crew members gasped. Some shook their heads. You can't be serious, Mara said. We barely survived its scan. You want to go inside it? I don't want to, Ray replied. But if we don't, no one else will live to try. He turned to his team. Suit up, we're going in. Minutes later, 5 officers stood at the docking bay. They wore thick spacesuits, helmets sealed tight. Each carried tools, scanners, and small weapons. Just in case the alien ship loomed outside the window, dark, silent, waiting, launched the shuttle. Ray ordered the bay doors opened. A small craft detached from Nova Echo and flew toward the unknown vessel inside the shuttle. No one spoke, everyone watched. As they got closer, the ship grew larger, darker, more terrifying with every second. Then they reached it. There was no docking port, no hatch, just smooth black surface. Ray stepped out first. His boots touched the outer shell. He looked around. Nothing, he said. No movement, no heat, just nothing. Mara's voice came over. Try the scanner, she said. Ray held up a device. Lines of light swept across the ship's surface. Then the scanner beeped. There's an opening here, he said, just ahead. They walked forward. As they approached, a line appeared in the wall slowly. It opened like a door, inviting or warning. One officer muttered. Ray ignored him. He stepped inside. Darkness swallowed them whole. Lights from their suits cut through the gloom. The walls were smooth, cold, and wet-looking. Symbols glowed faintly on the surface, shifting like they were alive. One officer reached out. Don't touch anything, Ray warned. Too late. The officer's glove brushed the wall instantly. The room lit up. Red light filled the corridor. A deep hum vibrated through the air. Then the officer screamed. It wasn't loud for long. It stopped suddenly when the others turned. He was gone, not vanished. Erased. His suit floated in midair for a second, then collapsed to the floor. Empty silence. Then another voice came through. Not Mara, not anyone from the team. It was a whisper. You have been chosen. Ray spun around. Who said that? No reply. Was it you, Mara? No, sir. Her voice came back shaky. I heard it too. The team moved forward slowly. Fear pressed against them like gravity. They entered a large chamber bigger than the station, filled with shadows and strange shapes. In the center, something pulsed. A sphere floating in midair, glowing softly. Ray stepped closer. Is this the source? He asked before anyone could answer. The sphere opened. Images flashed in their minds. Earth burning, people screaming, stars falling. A voice echoed inside their heads. You were warned. One officer dropped to his knees, clutching his helmet. My head, he cried. Something's inside my head. Ray grabbed him. Fight it. Don't let it in. The officer screamed again, then fell silent. His body went limp. Ray backed away. This was no ship. It was a trap, or worse, a mind. He turned to the last two officers. We're leaving, he said, but the door behind them closed slowly, quietly, trapping them inside. Outside, Nova Echo waited, watching, helpless, as the alien ship remained still, its eyes wide open, waiting, thinking. Changing back on Nova Echo, silence filled the command deck. No one spoke. Everyone stared at the screen, watching the alien ship swallow the shuttle whole. The dark surface closed behind it like water after a stone sinks. Mara stood frozen. Her fingers hovered over the console, but she didn't move. Her heart pounded like a war drum. Commander Ray was gone, and so were four others. The station felt colder now, like something had changed, something deep inside its walls. Then the comms crackled. Mara, came a weak voice. Her eyes widened. Commander? There was a pause. Then, no. The voice said, not him. Mara's breath caught. It wasn't Ray. It was someone else, one of the officers, but his voice sounded wrong, flat, distant. We're still here, he said slowly, but we're not alone. Mara leaned closer to the mic. What do you mean? Silence again. Then a whisper came through. It's speaking to us. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A low hum vibrated through the station. Alarms blared. Life support dropping again. Someone shouted, no, Mara yelled. We just fixed it. She looked at her screen. Data streams flashed by, too fast to read. Symbols she didn't recognize scrolled across every monitor. It's hacking us again, she cried. Then, from the comms, a new voice this time. It was Ray, loud and clear. Mara, listen carefully. He said, it's not trying to destroy us. She waited. It's trying to teach us. What? Teach what? He didn't answer right away. When he did, his voice was softer. There's something inside this place, not machines, not people, something older. It left a message for anyone who finds it. A message about what? Another pause. About what happened. Before. Mara frowned. What do you mean, before? Ray's voice came back, slow and heavy. This isn't the first time it's come outside. The alien ship remained silent, watching, waiting inside. The officer who had spoken first suddenly gasped. His body jerked. His eyes glowed blue again. Then he whispered, you were warned. And then he fell silent forever. Mara's hands shook as she typed, I'm picking up a signal. She said, "It's coming from inside the ship." Everyone turned. What kind of signal? Someone asked. "It's not a warning," she said. "It's a map." A long silence followed. "A map to where?" Another officer asked. Mara zoomed in on the data. Coordinates blinked on the screen. One planet stood out among them. Her voice dropped. "The capital world." Gasps filled the room. "That's impossible." Someone said, "That's the heart of the Dominion. If that thing goes there, it won't stop." Mara finished just then. Alarm screamed louder. "Something's happening." A tech shouted, "The alien ship is moving." They all looked at the screen. The ship floated backward slowly. Its glowing eyes stayed open then. Without warning, it vanished, jumped into hyperspace, leaving only silence behind. Mara stared at the empty space. "He said it was trying to teach us," she whispered. "But what if it's also testing us?" No one answered, because they all knew if the ship was heading for the capital, then the real test was just beginning. The alien ship was gone, vanished into hyperspace, but the fear it left behind stayed behind on Nova Echo. Commander Ray's voice still echoed in Mara's mind. "It's not trying to destroy us. It's trying to teach us, but what kind of lesson? Ended in death?" Mara stared at the screen. The coordinates were still there. Blinking, read the capital world. She typed fast. "Sent an emergency message to every colony, every military base, every human ship in range, unknown alien vessel en route to Dominion. Capital extreme danger, do not engage." She hit send and no reply came back. Then her comes buzzed. "Commander?" She said, hopeful, "No." Came a weak voice. Not him, it was another officer, the one who had survived the visions. His voice was low, shaky. "They showed me something," he whispered. "Something bad." Mara leaned closer to the mic. "What did they show you?" Silence. Then the fall of everything back on Earth. Life went on as usual. Skies were clear, streets were full, people laughed, worked, lived. They didn't know, they didn't see the warning signs until the sky changed. A bright light appeared above the capital city. People stopped walking, cars slowed. Heads turned. It wasn't a summit, wasn't a satellite. It was the alien ship. It hovered above the city like a shadow made real land. Then it sent down a beam of light, not fire, not energy, just light. It touched the ground and everything changed. People froze. Their eyes opened wide, their mouths moved, but no words came out. Then their bodies relaxed like puppets with cut strings. In seconds, thousands stood still, not dead, not alive, just empty. Soldiers dropped weapons, pilots left controls, leaders forgot their names. The city fell silent, not from fear, from loss. Inside the central command tower, General Kale watched from his window. His face was pale, hands shaking. "What the hell is happening?" he shouted. An aide ran up to him. "We're losing contact with everyone outside," he yelled. "They're not responding." Kale turned to the comms panel. "This is General Kale," he said. "All units report in now." Static. Then a voice came through, flat, empty. "You have been seen." Kale stepped back. "What the?" The voice continued. "You will be changed." Then the lights flickered and the building went dark outside. The alien ship remained still, its glowing eyes open, watching, waiting inside the walls of power. People began to change, not their skin, not their shape, their minds, memories faded. Loyalty vanished, fear disappeared. They didn't scream, they didn't fight, they simply obeyed. And somewhere deep inside the city, a new order began, not built by humans, not given by leaders, but planted like seeds, quiet, silent, unstoppable. Back on Nova Echo, Mara stared at the screen, saw it all. Live feeds from Earth, empty streets, still faces, a world that had forgotten itself. She whispered into the silence, "They're not fighting it, they're becoming it." And far away, the alien ship lifted higher, then vanished again, leaving behind a planet that no longer belonged to humanity, only to whatever had come for them. The silence that followed was worse than war. No screams, no explosions, just emptiness. Earth was gone, not destroyed, taken, and no one on Nova Echo knew what to do next. Mara stood alone on the command deck. The lights were dim, the air was heavy. Her eyes stayed locked on the screen. Live feeds from Earth still played, empty streets, motionless people. A world that had forgotten itself. She whispered into the quiet, "What happens now?" No one answered, because there was no one left to answer. Most of the crew had vanished, some ran, others changed. Only a few remained hidden, breathing softly, trying not to be seen. In the lower decks of Nova Echo, survivors gathered. They moved through shadows, avoiding cameras, staying silent. They were scared, but they were still human. One of them was Captain Elias Vance, he had been stationed on Mars before the signal came. He had ignored orders to return to Earth now. He was glad he did. We need to move, he said quietly. Before we end up like them. A woman named Rhea looked at him. How? She asked. Every ship is being watched. Every system is being read. Vance nodded. There has to be something we missed. They searched old files, military logs, secret reports. Then they found it in old archive buried deep in the station's memory. Rhea opened it. It was a message not from today, from long ago. If you're hearing this, then it has returned. Her voice shook as she read it aloud. We thought we had won. We thought we had survived. But we were wrong. It does not attack. It does not fight. It only watches, and when it sees us ready, it returns. Vance stared at the screen. This isn't new, he whispered. It's happened before. Rhea scrolled down. More text appeared. We tried to stop it. We failed. But we learned its ways. If you find this message, you still have time. Do not try to fight. Do not try to speak, run, hide, remember. Vance turned to the others. This changes everything. A young tech named Jox frowned. What do we remember? That we're about to lose? No, Vance said. That we don't have to lose. He walked over to a dusty terminal. I know where we can find answers. He said, there's an old base on Luna abandoned since the Mars War. If the records are still there, we might learn how to stop this thing. Rhea looked doubtful. And if it finds us first? Vance looked her in the eye. Then we make sure someone else finds this message again and again until someone survives outside. Nova Echo drifted in silence. The alien ship was gone, but its presence lingered like smoke after fire, like fear after. Dark inside the station. The last free humans made a choice. They would not become empty shells. They would not forget who they were. They would resist even if it meant dying, even if no one ever knew. They would remember, and maybe, just maybe, someone would listen. Long before Earth fell silent, before humanity spread across the stars, there was another empire. It ruled thousands of worlds. Its ships filled the skies. Its people believed they were alone in the dark, but they were noting the oldest records found on Luna. Vance and his team uncovered what had been hidden for centuries. They watched an old recording flicker to life. A man stood in a ruined command center. His armor was scorched. His face was tired. He spoke slowly, as if every word hurt. If you are seeing this, then it has returned. The screen showed images from long ago cities. Frozen mid-movement, people staring into nothing, ships drifting without pilots. Then came the words no one wanted to read. We were not the first. We will not be the last. Vance leaned closer. What happened to them? Rhea scrolled through more files. She found a report. Contact made with unknown vessel. No response to hails. No signs of life on board ship. Scanned our systems. Then people began to change, Jox whispered. They saw it too. Another file opened. This time, a battlefield, not fire, not blood, just silent. Soldiers stood still, weapons dropped, bases empty, and above it all, the same alien ship floating, watching, waiting. Then came the final message. We tried to fight, we failed. It does not destroy us, it replaces us. Vance closed his eyes. This isn't new, he said. It's history repeating itself. Rhea looked at him. But why? Why come back now? Jox pointed to another file. Maybe it never left. They opened it, an ancient war log after first contact. We launched a final attack, sent our best fleet, tried to destroy the ship. Silence followed. Then it did not fight back. It let us strike, and when we were done, it spoke. Vance read the next line aloud. You were warned. Then the final entry. We sealed it away, trapped it beyond the edge of space, but the seal is not forever. Rhea's voice shook. We thought we won. No, Vance said. We only delayed it. Outside, Nova Echo drifted in darkness. The alien ship was gone, but its shadow remained inside the station. The survivors stared at the truth. They were not the first to face this. They would not be the last, but maybe, just maybe, they could be the first to win. The survivors worked fast. They had no time to mourn the past, no time to fear the future. They had one chance, one message, and it had to be heard. Vance stood in the center of the old Luna base. Dust floated in the air. Lights flickered above him. Rhea sat at a cracked console, typing fast. We can hijack Dominion frequencies, she said, but we only get one shot. Jox watched the monitors. If they detect us, they'll shut us down before we finish. Vance nodded. Then make sure they don't see us coming. Rhea tapped the final command. All systems ready. Vance stepped in front of the camera lights. Blinked red recording began. He took a breath and spoke. "This is Captain Elias Vance of the Terran Resistance." His voice was calm, but behind it burned fire. "If you are hearing this, then you are still free. Do not trust what you see on your screens. Do not believe what your leaders tell you. Earth is gone, not destroyed. Not lost." Taken silence for a moment, then, "This is not invasion, this is transformation." Back on Nova Echo, Mara watched from the shadows. She whispered, "They're going to try on the screen." Vance continued, "We found records from the last time this happened thousands of years ago. Another empire, another fall. We thought we were safe. We thought we had won, but we were wrong." He leaned closer to the camera. "It does not fight. It does not speak. It only watches, and when it sees us ready, it returns." Rhea typed fast beside him. They were pushing deeper into the network, hacking into live feed staking. Over public broadcasts, Jocks looked up. "We've got 5 minutes before they trace us." Vance didn't stop. "If you hear a voice in your head, resist. If someone looks at you and their eyes glow blue, run. This thing does not kill us. It replaces us. It makes us forget who we are." A pause then, but we can remember. Outside, the sky above Luna remained dark, but across the colonies, something changed. On distant worlds, people turned to their screens. Military bases froze. Command centers went silent because for the first time since the fall began, someone was fighting back in the base. Alarms blared. "They found us." Jock shouted. Vance kept speaking. "We are not alone. We are not weak. We are human. And if we do not speak now, no one ever will." Suddenly, the screen cut to static. Then came a whisper. "Not Vance, not Rhea, something else. You were warned." The room went cold. Lights flickered. Machines sparked. Then the signal died. Back on Nova Echo, Mara stared at the blank screen. Then her comms buzzed. It wasn't Vance. It was his voice, flat, empty. "You will be changed." She backed away. Then the lights went out, and somewhere far away, the alien ship opened its eyes again. The message had been sent across the colonies, across the stars, but it came at a cost. Back on Luna, Vance's team was gone. Silent ruins were all that remained of the old base. No bodies, no blood, just empty rooms and glowing eyes in the dark. On Nova Echo, Mara moved alone through the halls. Lights flickered. Systems rebooted themselves. She could feel something crawling inside the station. Not machines, not people, something else. She whispered into her comms. "Vance, Rhea, anyone, do you read?" Only silence answered. Then came a voice, not from them, from something watching. "You have been seen." Mara backed away. Her boots echoed too loud. She reached the command deck. Monitors blinked with strange symbols. Feeds from across human space played out before her one by one. Colonies went silent. A mining world, a floating city, an ocean planet, all the same people. Stopped moving, stopped speaking, stopped remembering. She watched as children forgot their parents as soldiers dropped weapons and stared at the sky as leaders sat still in their chairs, eyes wide, mouths open. Not dead, not alive, just changed. Mara typed fast. She tried to send another message, another warning, but the system fought her. It rewrote her words, changed her commands, locked her out. She slammed her fist on the console. "No," she growled. "I'm still me." Outside the station, space remained calm. Stars shone bright, peaceful, but inside, fear grew, spreading like fire, quietly, silently, unstoppable. Then she saw Ita, blinking light on the far monitor. A signal weak, far away, coming from the edge of known space. She zoomed in. It is a ship, small, old, still working, and beside it, carved into the hull in faded letters, was a name, Freedom. Mara leaned closer. The feed showed a child on board, alone, watching, waiting. The child looked up straight into the camera and spoke. "I heard the message," Mara gasped. "You're still free," she whispered. The child nodded slowly behind them. The stars stretched endlessly, but ahead, there was still hope. Even if only one person remembered who they were, even if only one soul stayed untouched, that was enough for now, because somewhere far beyond the ruins of Earth, somewhere past the silence of fallen worlds, humanity still lived. Then maybe, just maybe, it could rise again. The child stood alone on the bridge of freedom. Small hands gripped the controls. Big eyes watched the stars ahead, behind them. Earth burned, not with fire, not with war, with silence. The alien ship had come, and humanity had forgotten itself, but not this child. Not yet. Inside the old vessel, lights flickered, systems groaned. The ship had seen better days, but it still worked. Hey, Voice came from the console initiating protocol. Seed, the child tilted their head. What does that mean? No reply came, only a soft hum. Then the screen lit upwards, scrolled by old file secret messages, maps to places no one had gone in years. At the bottom was a single line. Find the others. The child looked out the window. Stars stretched endlessly. One of them held hope somewhere. Suddenly, alarms blared. A new signal appeared behind them. Something big, something dark. The alien ship. It hovered at the edge of space, watching, waiting, but it did not fire, it did not speak, it only observed. The child took a deep breath. Their fingers moved fast across. The panel engines roared, thrusters fired. Freedom jumped into hyperspace, leaving behind the ruins of a broken empire. Back on Nova Echo, Mara watched from the command deck. The child's jump point faded into the stars. She whispered, "Go far," her voice cracked. "They must not find you outside." The alien ship remained, its glowing eyes open, still scanning, still learning, still changing what was left of humanity. Mara turned away from the screen. She walked into the dark halls of the station alone, but not empty. She still remembered that was enough for. Now across the galaxy, colonies fell silent. People forgot who they were. Leaders became statues, soldiers became ghosts. But somewhere, far beyond known space, freedom flew on inside its hold. Data pulsed, old messages, old warnings, old stories of humans, of war, of hope. The child sat in the pilot's seat. They looked at the stars and spoke softly, "We are still here." Behind them, the message played again, initiating protocol. Seed. More stars appeared, new paths opened, new worlds waited, and in the quiet of space, far from ruin, far from fear, humanity began again, not as conquerors, not as rulers, but as survivors. And somewhere deep in the void, the alien ship watched. Its eyes stayed open, waiting, thinking, changing. But not all had been taken. Some had run, some had hidden, some had remembered. And as long as even one soul carried the truth, humanity was not lost. It was simply starbound.